Before we get started, we probably should talk about the horsepower. So the Kubota is powered by a 47 horsepower V207 engine. It's naturally aspirated, so you don't have to worry about turbos or anything else to go wrong with it. Direct injection, proven reliability. You know, I have them with more than 10,000 hours on them. Now I'd like to talk about our console. First thing is a graph for engine revs, so that's our engine speed. Second one along is in digital time, and then the third one, that's our hours. So that's the first part of the dash. The other thing with the dash is it's got a lot of other features that are attributed to the hydraulics. So to activate the hydraulics, we have our lever come down, press it once, and that's auxiliary 1. So auxiliary 1 is set up from factory with all 4 hoses, left and right, both sides, at full flow. So to get the information on that, if I hold the information button in, you can see there it says left and then right. So we have to associate the left with the low flow, that's the 37 litres a minute, and the right with the high flow or the higher flow at 75 litres a minute. And you'll see in there it's got an AUX 1, so that's auxiliary 1. If I press it again, it moves to a grab. So pressing the information on that, you'll see that the left side is empty and the right side is halfway. So you don't want to grab running at full revs, you want it, or full speed, you want to be able to control it. So that's what that one's set up for. If I press it again, it comes up to a hammer and then information, and you'll see that the 1 bar graph is full. So for a hammer you want full flow, but you don't want any other flows coming into the system. So this is where this gets really good. So if I press our button at the beginning, we can use our up and down arrows and our enter arrows. So if we go down to auxiliary flow circuit check and press enter, I have to lift the lever up, start the engine. So once the machine's running, that brings us into our dash. So you'll see on auxiliary 1, we've got our little arrow pointing to auxiliary. So this is the first of 8 icons. So we can change the icon to whatever we suit. So if you want to run mill, or a rotating grab, auger, manual, like hydraulic grabs, hammer, and tilting bucket, we can change any of those icons to whatever we need. So if we start off at auxiliary 1, if I want to set, we'll have that at full flow. If I want to set tilting bucket up, for example, I can now move the icon across, and we don't want it to full flow for a tilting bucket, so we can now reduce the flow down and follow the arrow across, down again. So, and then we can keep the auxiliary line at full flow. The really good part of that is not everything is balanced correctly when you put it on, so we can change the flow on that to bring the speed as a balance, and also the speed as a comfortable speed for the operator. So not everybody wants to be able to run the tilting bucket or whatever they are at full speed. So we have full control over this dash for the flow for the auxiliary lines. If I don't want that particular icon, we'll keep it at number 1 for the moment. If I go again, I can do the same thing. I can move the arrow across and bring those flows up. On that way, I can go again and put the hammer, if we want to move the hammer at a slower revs, slower speed, I can reduce the hammer flow. If I have a tilting hitch and I want to put with the hammer on it, and I want the tilting hitch to be able to tilt, I can introduce the oil into auxiliary line and auxiliary line. So that dash can be completely customized to however you feel it should be for your machine. But the standard settings are there. When you get your handover done, if you go through it with a person, you can set it up and you can make it really comfortable. That's the dash. So first couple of things, we have aircon on, aircon off, so that's the switch there, temperature, and then our fan speed. This dial here is our auto idle, or engine throttle, sorry, and then auto idle. So you can set the engine revs to wherever you want. on the day, and if you leave the engine running for any more than 4 seconds and that button is turned on, it will go into auto idle mode. That's a feature for fuel saving and etc. So it's a really good thing. Next to that is, because it's got a quick hitch on it, it's our quick hitch switch, windscreen wipers, lights, and e-stop and an ignition. This lever here is our blade lever. On the top is our 2-speed travel, and the blade lever also is float, so if you press it forward it gives you a float detent. With the 2-speed travel, it's auto kick down. So if you're on a job and you're running around long distances, instead of having to go to low speed and high speed manually, you can put it in auto mode and it will turn the corners for you. If you're on the job and you're only doing short distances, then you leave it in low. You know, just keep it around low speed because it makes it more comfortable for the drive and so on and so forth. Normal controls we have on the machine is boom up, boom down. So this is in excavator mode currently. So boom up, boom down, bucket towards you, bucket dump, swing right, swing left, dipper arm out and dipper arm in. If I change it by the switch that we've got under here, the 2-pattern control, which is gated, press it down, this becomes boom up, boom down, dipper arm out, dipper arm in. So we'll put that back. Now it's back into excavator mode. Travel pedals, standard, forward, reverse. The other features in here is the windows, and both forward and aft windows are sliding. So great for talking to your fellow workers, keeping an autumn breeze day flowing through, just a good thing. But really about visibility as well. So if you're working on a job that you're finding it difficult to see, open the window and you've got clear vision. It's a great thing, not feeling closed in. The door itself is thumb activated. 2 thumbs, lift up, and that gives you full vision. So between the front door open and the window open, you shouldn't feel any restriction of breeze and or feel like you're isolated from the environment if you're working with fellow workers close around you. If you want to be in that dusty area, close your cab up, close your door and you're locked in. The other thing the machines come with is a ROPS canopy, and everybody loses where the ROPS identification is, and the ROPS identification is down there. So if you ever get stuck, the tag on the cab down there, and that's our ROPS identification. Normal functions, this is boom swing left and right, and that's just this normal thing. I mentioned before about the boom and the dipper arm having control. So I'll demonstrate that to you now about what I was saying. So I'm just going to start the machine up, and then I'll show you what I was talking about in previous comments about the cushioning on the boom and the dipper arm. So starting the machine, safety lever up, back down. If you noticed, I didn't have to lift it all the way up either. There's a switch that's pretty close now. It's only got to go a little bit now to allow a start. So I'll do it at slow revs first of all. So we come up, it slows down. If I build the revs up, cushions it towards the cabin. So if I do the dipper arm, slows down and slows down. So you're not getting that when you're loading trucks out, you're not having to worry about the crashing that it does, as in, if you look at the bucket, it's not on the bucket cylinder, it does that banging. So by having the dipper arm cushioned, stops it out, it's really good, and then boom up. Something else is good with these is the controls. So if you put it down, you can put it down on the dime, and then you can really control your speed coming in without too much lever movement. So very balanced on the hydraulics. Out again. So quite an easy machine to operate. I'll just show you the float, boom float. So if I load the boom up, if I push it into float, that lets it down. So if I'm traveling, the boom up, if I push it in, dip bucket down, sorry, blade up, move it into float, and you'll see it going floating. So that gives you, it'll follow the ground as you're going forward or backwards. So that's our blade float. Turn it off. That's about it for the U55. That wraps it up for the Kubota U55. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions, comments, or anything at all you need, please call below and we're happy to answer as much as we possibly can. Thank you for watching.